Everyone wants that perfect lever-style espresso shot. It's the holy grail. Low pressure pre-infusion, 9 bars in a smooth decline. And usually that requires a massive, expensive manual machine. But I'm gonna show you how to convert a standard espresso machine to do the exact same thing using only a custom switch and the original lever. That's the plan anyway. Probably should turn this off before I start tearing it apart. I think I need some more space here. If you saw part 1, you already know about the legendary Swiss hydraulic machine. But those aren't exactly practical for a normal home kitchen, so I'm doing some research. Most rotary pumps are actually gear pumps, positive displacement pumps, which means every rotation moves an exact amount of water. It's simple math, double the RPM and you almost double the pressure, which immediately makes me think, why not use this pump and make it a variable speed with a VFD? But AC motors hate low RPMs. They stall or get jittery. That's why most European train systems still run on 60.7 Hz. At those low frequencies, AC motors behave like DC motors. Given locomotives that massive starting torque needed to get an entire train moving from a standstill. Plus the pump motor in my espresso machine is not even a true 3-phase motor. It uses a capacitor to fake that phase shift, which makes controlling the speed even worse. So I need DC. Smooth, adjustable, food-grade DC. It took a while to find the right specs for this. And the team over at Fluidotech was a huge help in sourcing this pump. It's small enough that you could probably replace a vibratory pump with it too. It's a magnet drive gear pump with a 24-volt brushless DC motor and a 0 to 5-volt input for speed adjustment. The only downside is things are pretty expensive, but out of the old pump and in with the new. Unfortunately, this pump doesn't have a great mounting option, so I have to build my own fixture. Now technically I could limit the pressure with the controller, and honestly that would be easier. But this pump can go up to 20 bars, so I want a reliable safety in place. I feel better with a mechanical safety valve. I'll adjust it once it's in the machine and I see the pressure gauge. When I converted this garage into my YouTube studio, I actually gave away almost all my tools. Luckily, here in Greenville we have a DIY workshop called Synergy Mills, where you can rent the space and tools and build this kind of stuff. They have everything there, even a lathe. So now I have the pump, but that creates a new problem. The pump needs 24 volts, but the controller needs 5. To fix that, I'm adding a 24-volt power supply and a voltage converter to step it down to 5 volts. But the real challenge is still ahead. How do you actually control the pressure while making coffee? I could just use a dial, but then it becomes no different from one of those flow control valves that you have to fiddle with during the shot. And that's not what I want. I want it to feel natural, like a real lever machine, where one movement controls the entire extraction. The pump switch of this machine is already a lever. So instead of a simple on-off switch, I'm turning it into an analog control. The boiler is in the way. My initial idea was, well, let's just move it over. So I ordered all the components, but just as I was about done with that, I realized that's a stupid idea. See, the plan is to launch this on Kickstarter. But I also want to offer a conversion kit for existing E61 machines. I can't ask people to move parts around inside their espresso machine just to turn it into a pressure profile machine. That would be ridiculous. Scrap that. I need to design my own position sensor prototype that fits right in place of the existing microswitch. Seems to work. It's time to seal it with epoxy. Now my favorite part, firing the whole thing up and see if it works. Now before I show you the best two features of this setup, quick geeky part, feel free to skip ahead if that's not your thing. Because I'm only using a small portion of the sensor's travel, I had to scale it to match my operating range. And since the sensor is linear but I want to emulate a spring lever, I had to shape the response curve in the software to get the pressure behavior I want. Now that's enough geek talk for now, let's go ahead and pull some shots. One of the things I added is this little knob back here. With this I can raise the pressure about 3 bars. But I didn't want to just lift the entire curve because that would mess with the pre-infusion. So what I'm doing instead is wait until the lever is at around 85% and only then do I read the value of this dial and add that to the pressure curve. That way I'm really just pushing the top end of the curve and not the whole thing. Now feature number 2. That's my favorite one. Normally you just dial in a fresh bag of beans and then you leave your grinder settings alone for the remainder of the bag, right? Well, same idea here. You pull your shot manually with the lever, and when you have that perfect shot, you flip the switch, it memorizes your lever movement and turns it into a pressure profile. And from then on you just open the lever all the way and it replays your pressure profile the exact same way. Whoa! Well, if seeing not only the things that work right away, but also the setbacks and mistakes doesn't scare you off, I have put a link for the early bird Kickstarter notification into the video description. Join the list and you'll be the first to know when the campaign goes live. And if you're espresso machine savvy, you probably already spotted what I did wrong. Drop it in the comments. Let's see how many of you caught it. I have a bit of a situation. I had to order some parts, so in the next video I'll show you exactly what went wrong and finally go over all the features of this machine. Thanks for watching, see you next time.